Distinguished participants of the webinar, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of FICCI, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you to this webinar on computer-related inventions. This webinar is being organized under the 100 webinar series on intellectual property that FICCI, along with CPAM, Cell for IP Promotion and Management, set up by DPIIT, Government of India, has been conducting since March 2020. The objective is to raise awareness on intellectual property rights in the country and to get stakeholders involved in deliberations across diverse subjects of IPR. Computer-related inventions are those that involve use of computers, computer networks, and other programmable apparatus, and include inventions that have one or more features which are realized wholly or partially by means of a computer program or programs. Today's discussion will focus on the interplay between CRI and the patent rights and the significance that CRI has in the modern world and other related aspects. And to speak on the subject, we are very privileged to have a very competent and accomplished IP professional, Ms. Gopi Trivedi. She is senior partner of YJ Trivedi and Company. To briefly introduce Ms. Trivedi, she heads the firm's patent department. She has a bachelor's degree in computer engineering as well as in law. She is a registered patent agent and is also a certified patent valuation analyst. Her wide knowledge in the various areas of science such as engineering, software, chemicals, pharmaceuticals has led her to handle patent projects and assignments nationally and internationally. In a career span of 2 decades, Ms. Trivedi has secured grant of several diverse patents for our clients belonging to all sectors of industry. She is also a part of our firm's IP valuation and management team and has been advising clients with our expert techno-legal inputs. Our involvement with students, professors, the startups community, and incubators in guiding them in their research work to improvise on their inventions has led her to being empaneled at various engineering universities, institutions, and incubation centers. She has also penned various articles on the subject of patents and has been delivering talks on IPR at symposiums organized by institutions like ISRO, Institute of Plasma Research, Gujarat Council for Science and Technology, Gujarat National Law University, Nirma University, among others. Ms. Trivedi is a member of various international bodies like the International Association of Protection of Intellectual Property, Asian Patent Attorneys Association, and she regularly participates in their annual conferences and conferences held worldwide. She has been recognized at the Times Power Woman 2018 as being among the top 50 women achievers by the Times Group. She's been awarded the Women in Business Excellence Professional Category 2017-18 by the Business Women Wing of Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And in 2018, our firm, YJ Trivedi and Company, has made the world record in filing maximum number of patents in a single day under our guidance and leadership. And recently, she has been recognized as an IP expert by Asia's leading IP lawyers, and has also as one of the powerful women in IP in 2021 by the World IP Forum, WIPF. So that's in short an introduction of our speaker, and we're delighted to have you, Ms. Trivedi. May I now invite you for your presentation, Ms. Gopi Trivedi.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dipankarji, for elaborate introduction. But from my core, I'm a science literate, and that's why I belong to IP fraternity. I mean, that's I want to make as simple as possible. And you were mentioning about the list of recognition, etc. But one of the closest is, of course, the world record, which we made in a single day by filing highest number of patents. Such thrilling and exciting works keep you moving and doing better projects. So good evening to one and all present. It's so very virtual. We can't see anybody's face, but yes, let's connect with one another through this subject and the interaction. Firstly, the organizers, CPAM and FICCI, thank you so much for inviting me and having me here with you to share my views and experiences about this particular topic. In fact, I want to congratulate CPAM and FICCI for organizing this 100 series webinar, and which it's an incredible work. And I just learned from Mr. Dipankar that we are close to some 70 sessions. So indeed, congratulations to you. And you are spreading the awareness of IP at a greater scale and reaching to so many participants. So really a great task. And dear participants, I personally congratulate and appreciate your enthusiasm, because your interest has brought you here and made your participants to such a debatable, intricate and a futuristic topic, namely computer related inventions, right? And now I would like to switch to my PPT. And before that, very special thanks to Mr. Dipankar for very smoothly coordinating and very effortlessly bringing me out to the audience. So with this, I'm sharing my PPT. So is it visible?
Yes, Gopiji, please go ahead.
And I'm moving the slides. Do you find that change?
Yeah, they're changing as well. Yes.
Okay, great. Fine. So computer related inventions and evolution of CRI, that is computer related inventions, and its panoramic view in India. That's the very topic, a very micro level topic. If I compared, as a patent act, a single line is dedicated to this CRI, a single subsection is dedicated, and there has been a lot of debate and heat over it for last 2 decades. But the last decade has seen the best of the hit ever, because of course the computer related inventions have increased phenomenally, and we have all witnessed it as an end user, the way in which we were using the phones. In fact, we didn't have mobile phone once upon a time, and then we had a mobile phone, and then we are having the better versions every time. So why are we talking about it, and what is the base or fulcrum of it? So firstly, let us think about the innovation, which is equal to solutions. I mean, that's how we as a practicing attorney look at innovation. It is generally a process of bringing the commercially viable new processes, services, products to the market. And while doing so, the innovators are providing the improved versions of whatever is existing, or sometimes the newer versions also. So it's a big playground, mix of different disciplines, from the problem solving approach to the design side creativities to the right projection in the market. So a lot many factors are there. And India has been relentlessly working and has shown a very positive impact in last 5 years precisely, and with a great pride as an Indian, I would like to share that we are ranking 48th as far as global innovation index is concerned, and this is all possible just because of our innovative approach towards producing new products or processes, and as well as protecting the same. And we can really scale this higher. There are certain gaps or certain myths are there. So one of the myths is with computer related invention, and we'll discuss it in detail. So in general, any innovation or idea is being developed. If it turns out to be an invention, the inventor is of course very happy, and the product goes to market as well as the owner can have its patent rights. So two double benefits. While you have the monopolistic right, you can also reach to market with your right product or services.
અવાજ ના કરવી હોસ્ટેલ કેટલું નાનું થઈ ગયો ફરીથી કર્યું તો ફરીથી આટલા નાના નાના થઈ ગયા છે આઈકોન કઈ સમજ નથી પડતી કરી જા ફટાફટ કાણી નહીં ગઈ તું ગાડી થઈ ગઈ તને
Gopiji, can you hear me? Please hold on for a second. Your voice is not coming on. We'll try and fix this.
I think the mic is mute. The mic is in mute position.
Gopi ji, you may continue. You're muted. Please unmute yourself.
Okay. Fine. So I think I would start from this slide while I was unmuted or muted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So the patents are one of the intellectual property forms considered to be little prime format. It gives owner legal right to exclude others from making, using, selling, or even importing, which is very important. Comes with a limited period of time, and we'll see different characteristics and features of patents with the simplest image. So the patent comes with an exclusive rights, monopolistic rights, yes, for a limited period, that is 20 years only. Sometimes it becomes 20 years only, sometimes it's such a long time. It is a territorial right, just like any other law and act. Patent Act also is applicable in India, and that's how it is territorial. My participants from legal fraternity would surely, be agreeing with it immediately. The philosophy of the patent is first to file. So whoever files it first avails the rights first. So this is again very important. What you need to exchange with the patent office is technical disclosure. And against that, what you get? The monopolistic rights. So this is the, a few features around the patents. And why you should do the patents? Why not? The life without patents is otherwise smooth and nice. Then why should one think about procuring patent rights? It's a legal right, right? And you have to claim it. It doesn't come automatically. So while you are claiming before the authority, that is the Patent Office of India, you are claiming who is the owner, what rights you are procuring, what invention you have developed. Against that, you're getting the territorial right. And since intellectual property is a type of a property, the rights which are availed are transferable in nature. In fact, it can also be inherited. So this is a very strong effect of owning the such patent rights. Now, which inventions are granted patents? The patents are granted to new technologies as well as improved technologies. Both patent applications shall be treated equally before the eyes of law. And similar benefits would be availed by the inventor. This is the Patent Act defining different requisites of an invention. A new invention should be in a particular manner. It should be interpreted in a particular manner, so as the novelty, so as inventive step, as well as industrial application. I would like to go a little quickly here because I understand my dear participants are, knowing what these 3 different features are. Moving ahead, what is really an addition to it while deciding the patentability? That is the exclusion section called section number 3. Now the section number 3 is, the title goes saying that inventions which are not patentable. It's quite negative in nature, but it is, in fact, it is a beautiful piece of law which was drafted to balance the monopolistic right as well as the society rights, right? And somewhere here falls our patentability of computer related inventions also. Now, moving ahead, what form of inventions would be patentable? So it can be product as well as process. It can be machine as well as apparatus, chemical compounds, etc. And most important, or which is very relevant to this topic, is interdisciplinary. Interdisciplinary inventions are also granted patent. Now one might think, how can 2 different disciplines come together and offer a solution? We'll see a few examples in just coming slides. So wherever interdisciplinary comes, or a combination of different subjects of science come, the first choice is generally computer related inventions, because it penetrates or helps or reaches to the existing different areas of science very easily. Right, so computer related inventions, if we define, they are those that involve the use of computers, computer networks, or other programmable apparatus, and include such invention having one or more features that are realized wholly or partially by means of a computer program. So simplifying the same, it can be one computer, it can be more than one in a form of a network, or maybe a programmable apparatus, but it is fueled by a computer program that also can be one or more. And while we are talking about this, why it is so important, because we've already entered industry 4.0 scenario. Every sector of the industry is trying to minimizing the human intervention and trying to maximize its performance capability. Now, how is it possible? Whenever we think about automation, the computer related products or computer related inventions naturally intervene. And even the computer related inventions have reached to a higher scale, which have now newly introduced subjects called artificial intelligence, machine learning, neural networks, blockchain, and so on and so forth. Right? With this concepts, with this ideology, the automation or industry 4.0 is taking its real shape. And we are witnessing it slowly and gradually. Even moving further, the computer related invention can be mainly categorized as a core technology, that is hardware, software, which generally is available in the market, and the developer procures it and develops over it as an invention. There can be assistive technologies like analytics, security, artificial intelligence, etc. And further comes our application domains. Now the application domains are, the list is so very long. I would just try to list them in a form of getting close to what kind of different inventions are taking place in different industry. If we look at it, computer related invention. So just to start with medical devices, our X-rays, our CT scans are being, they're taken, but then they are processed by computer related devices. There can be aerospace, there can be home control. We have now smart homes. We have the IoT based smart switches also, which wasn't ever thought of earlier. And not to limit it, even it has reached to agriculture, even to the cattle, even to defense. So I've just produce a precise list to cover most of those industry, but the list is really too very long. In fact, the WIPO report 2021, which is just released in the month of May, is talking about the trends and the promising development in the area of patents related to computer related inventions. And they've identified certain branches called cognition, environment, hearing aids, the mobility with the disabled and elderly people, or for special needs, the communication, self-care and vision. These are special or highlighted branches which is going to see a great number of inventions in coming future. In fact, I was going through a very good example, and it says Toyota has filed 3 patent applications recently in collaboration with the Illinois Institute of Technology for a robotic device that acts as an advanced alternating to lifting hoist. So we might see some new inventions instead of whatever we are using already. So disruptive products are going to come. There are 3 major players, Mitsubishi, Hitachi and Otis Elevators have filed various patents specifically for such smart elevator system, and which is based on IoT and wireless network to help specially abled people so that they can communicate while if they are stuck in the lift, in the elevator, for their sign, for the facial expression also the lift, the elevator can come in to help and sort out their problem. So this is the level of inventions are going on or already have happened and already have been filed patents. Now what the core question remains here is, are they patentable? How do patent office look at it, or how do patent act look at it? Though they are invention, though they are new, inventive and industrially applicable, will they be granted patent? So let us seek that answer in this coming slide. So we need to check out 3 different points while we are deciding the patentability of any computer related invention, and truly we are doing the same day in day out whenever we deal with computer related inventions. In fact, we as a practitioner also seen a tremendous increase of CRI related invention and these interdisciplinary inventions. So first is Section 3K of Indian Patent Act, which is a villain so far, not allowing software related inventions to be granted patents so far. Then what we need to check is Manual of Patent Practice and Procedure, that is 2011 and 2019. 19 is of course the recent one. And then comes CRI guidelines of Indian Patent Office. 3 revision, it started from 2013. Then came a better version 2015, and then came 2016, and then came a guideline, special guideline for examiners in 2017. So these documents we have to check before, even informing our client that yes, it is patentable, or it may be patentable, or no, it may not be patentable. So Section 3K says any invention, if it pertains to mathematical method, no patents at all, because mathematical methods are not something which is abstract, feasible or a visible product per se. Then it comes to business method, it's also a list of steps to perform a particular business. So no patents to those kind of inventions. Algorithms, of course, no, because again, it's a step of performing certain action in a certain manner. Then comes a phrase called computer program per se, which is in debate, which has seen a lot of heat from the stakeholders. The noise has reached to, the governments had to intervene. The policies came out, the CRI guidelines came out, still there was dissatisfaction, and then the better versions came out. So the phrase computer program per se is something, has been discussed so much. So the computer related invention, whether it is of a technical nature involving a technical advancement as compared to the existing knowledge or having economic significance, or both, is not subject to exclusion. That is a summing point of this slide, but we'll see this very summing point in detail. So when the claims are directed as mathematical method, it shall not be granted patent, as I just said, because it's a matter of calculation. It can be different equations. It can be a mental skill also. So these are all abstract ideas, can't be granted patent. Similarly, for business method, there can be enterprise, business rule, supply chain method, commerce, etc. No patents are awarded, at least in India. Or of course, we are talking about Indian Patent Act. Same rule applies to algorithm too. It can be, computational matter, recursive, maybe in a loop, but no, such algorithms will not be granted patent. When it comes to computer program per se, it has a little longer list. It can be from database. It can be from storage medium having certain instruction executing in a certain way. It can be routines, subroutines. It can be a computer memory. It can be a searching pattern also. So different options are here, or a whole set of industry falls here. So then came at rescue our manual on patent practice and procedure on CRIs. What does it say? It says if the claim subject matter in a patent application is only a computer program, it is considered as a computer program per se and hence not patentable. Very simple. So, of course, before 2013, the first guideline came. Prior to that, all computer programs were refused grant of the patent. It further adds saying that claims directed at computer program products are computer programs per se stored in the computer readable medium, so as they are not allowable. Further, even if the claims inter alia contain a subject matter which is not a computer program per se, it is examined whether such subject matter is sufficiently disclosed in the specification forms an essential part of invention. So when we think about the claims, and if the claim is not only a computer program per se, then it should be examined and other criteria of patentability would be tested. So that is what the guidelines say. Now what does, the manual say? Now what does CRI guideline teach us? So if we talk about 2013, when we are looking at the evolution, so the first guideline came was 2013. It came with two new terms. The terms were technical effect and technical advancement. It also added that all computer programs need a combination of some hardware for its functionality. If an invention is filed for a patent application, and if hardware part is missing in it, the patents were not granted. If you look at the 2013 guideline, so novel software will not be qualified for. Now this was much criticized, and then the revised version came in 2015. But before that, the two new terms, which is even in effect till today, is technical effect and technical advancement. So 2013 gave us at least two good things called, two new terms called technical effect. What is it? So when we think about innovation, when we think about patent application, invention, maybe CRI or other, it should do something. Rather, it should do something better, right? But at least it should do something. So technical effect is nothing else but doing something. That something can be, it may have higher speed. It can have better use of databases or its search strategy, or given memory, it is using it economically. It is a better control over different extended electronics points, maybe a robotic arm, etc. and such. So when you are having any technical effect, at least you're close to innovation. So that's, or invention. That's the first thing. The next thing came, which is an essential point of CRI patent to be granted, is technical advancement. So what theoretical it says the substance of the invention must involve technical advance as compared to existing knowledge, or having economic significance, or both, that makes an invention not obvious to persons skilled in the art. So we already have this in section 2 as a definition of being inventive. Now this has been clubbed here with CRI guideline saying that all technical advancement comes with technical effect, at least one or more. But all technical effect may not result in technical advancement. So this is clumsy. But while we are writing about any invention, or while we are drafting the claims, what we have to prove by our write-up or by a technical specification is, look, this is the technical effect, but this is the technical advancement. There is a big delta, big space between my prior art and my new invention. And that's why it is a technical advancement. It's not merely a technical effect. So you have to bring up, leverage your invention to a level of technical advancement to be patentable if you fall under CRE. So the 2013 part is over. Now came 2015 guideline. What does it say? It says the CRI must involve either a novel hardware, or a novel hardware with a novel computer program, or a novel computer program with a known hardware which goes beyond the normal interaction with such hardware and affects a change in its functionality or performance of the existing hardware. So it has quite relaxed section 3K as well as 2013 guideline. It has moved little further, but still the stakeholders weren't very happy. They wanted to the patent office to bring out utmost clarity on this thin line called computer program and computer program per se. So then came immediately in the month of February, the 2016 guideline, and it added into 2015 saying that, look, there are 3-stage testing here. The testing would be done, the first test would be, has applicant properly construed the claim and identified the actual contribution of the invention? If yes, go ahead. If no, then you can reject the application. Let's say the applicant has properly drafted and construed the claims, keeping CRI into mind. Then the next testing point is if the contribution lies in the mathematical method, business method, or algorithm, kindly deny the claim. If not, that means you're falling under computer program per se debate. Then the final line is to be decided here that if the contribution lies in the field of computer program, check whether it is claimed in conjunction with a novel hardware and proceed to other steps to determine patentability with respect to invention. But the computer program in itself, that means per se, would never be patentable. So this test was given. Now what was the effect of it? Now with this guideline, the CRI may fall under the purview of section 3K, whether it's an algorithm or not, or even further to that, there are few sections which also talks about computer related invention, or which also overlooks, cover up this different industry. Section 3L additionally says that a literally dramatic or musical or artistic work shall fall under section 3L and shall be refused. So the guideline has even stressed that you kindly check section 3L, not limiting to that. Even section 3M, the guideline has pointed out that section 3M says it's a mere scheme or rule or method or performing mental act or method of playing game for that matter shall not be granted patent. So any apps, any way of playing games, that is a video games, etc., shall not be granted patent. That also has been stressed here. In a recent matter between Apple and Ericsson, Apple argued that the wireless communication uses several protocols, but protocols are abstract. and hence they are not patent eligible. And it was, discussed over the section 3N because it's a mere scheme of doing something, right? Adding to it section 3N, which says whenever there is a presentation of information, the patent shall not be granted. Where is it applicable? It is applicable in various industries of CRI, such as wireless communication, wherein certain channels, they are named and they're discussed as performing in a certain manner. So they fall under section 3N and patent shall not be granted. Now there's a long list that what is not granted. So a question comes whether anything is granted or not. Yes, lot of inventions are granted patent, and we'll see those positive case studies very soon. But as a lawyer, we often discuss out what is not possible. So what remains is naturally is possible. Even adding to it, then came 2017 revised guideline for examination of such computer related invention. And the gist of it is important to ascertain from the nature of claimed computer related invention, whether it is of a technical nature, involving technical advancement as compared to existing knowledge, or having economic significance, or both, and is not subject to exclusion under section 3. So the word came called technical nature, which was newly introduced in 2017. So the focus then went to its claim, right? Whatever claims are being drafted or asked for the patentability, what meaning do they make? What scope do they define? Do they really talk about CRI, or the CRI part was only discussed in the description? It was really missed out or really misrepresented while drafting the claims. So these few things we'll be discussing. So my first point is when the claims concerning to CRI are often phrased in terms of means for performing some function. So it goes, for an example, means for converting digital signal to the analog signal. So it's called means plus function format. When such kind of claim shall not be allowed if structural features of those means are not disclosed. Meaning thereby, when you claim such technicalities, but if they are not expressed in detail or sufficiently in description part with these structural features, they will not be allowed. So it can't be a vague or mere claim. It has to be based by the specification. Now, if the specification supports implementation of this invention solely by computer program, then in that case, means plus function shall be rejected, because there would be nothing else but the computer program per se. But otherwise, they shall be granted patents. Even moving further, there can be apparatus, system, and their claims. In that case, examples can be a data processing apparatus or a system which comprising means for carrying out something. So now here comes a method because you're carrying out something. Now in such step, you have an apparatus, so I say some hardware, and it is clubbed with the software. And when this software is novel, then it is granted patent. When there is a purely a method or process claim, which is a computer program claim. So claims with such preamble, which is like a method for or process for doing so, would be a complete computer program claim or invention. Here, in such instances, such claims generally related to mathematical or equations or business methods, and they are generally excluded. And technical effect should be here verified and advancement should be checked. Now, when the computer program product claims or data readable formats, etc., are also not allowed, because they are merely receiving certain products, the electronic products, and then when they're not performing any novelty, they are not granted patents. With this note, the essential of CRIs would be it must have a technical nature. The claim in technical nature must involve advancement. software should be sufficiently described, and it should move beyond section 3. Let's say we have done this all. Looking to the paucity of time, I'll skip a few of them. I'll take up this example, which very happily I would like to share that we have drafted from our office about this computer-related invention in 2013. So this was filed way back in 2013, and it is recently examined. So the guidelines would now be applicable. So a system for analyzing application accurately for finding security and quality issues. And it's a machine learning based invention, completely a software, but it is clearly defining what technical advancement it is bringing out. Earlier it used to take number of days to check to find the security and quality issues. While using this invention, one can reduce this time to a few hours, and with this machine learning to even less number of hours. So friends, we are able to describe or prove that there is a technical advancement. It's not merely an effect, it is an advancement. So it is already granted by European Patent Office in 2017. We are hoping to get its grant very soon in India. So we'll see some granted and refused patents in India. So Google had some issue, and the patent was, they filed a patent application. The 3K was placed as an objection, and eventually it was granted because it could able to prove the technical advancement. Very interestingly, the Apple filed a patent application in 2009. The hearing was scheduled on 2017, and it's kind of one of the classic example, at least for us, it's a precedent. So section 3K was raised in the examination report, and the applicant replied by amending claims in such a way that it could establish the technical effect as well as technical advancement. The Patent Office, in its order while granting this patent, clearly mentioned and gave credit to CRI guideline that on basis of that we are here clarifying the thin line between computer program and computer program per se. And since computer programs are patentable if they are not in conjunction with novel hardware, the terms used to explain novelty are technical improvement, and hence the patent is granted, the 3K is overcome. So this is a positive picture, but the things are not always positive. The controller refused one patent application wherein it was claiming enhanced personal video recorder. It's purely a hardware. Of course, it is based by the software. The 3K objection came. The applicant couldn't convince or couldn't meet with the 3K requirement and fails to prove that there is a technical effect, there is an advancement, or there is a technical contribution. Because of that, it was denied by the Patent Office. So while we think about any case study, the first case which come and which is quite recent, quite talked about, is Farid Alani's case. It's a very precedented case now as far as software patents are concerned. The order from IPAB came in July 2020, maybe one of the last orders from IPAB itself before it got abolished. Firstly, it was refused. This patent application was firstly rejected by Patent Office in view of Section 3K. As its appealing body, it was challenged before Intellectual Property Appellate Board, that is IPAB. IPAB, revised that order, directs the Patent Office to grant that patent in July 2020. Some proceedings are there, various law points are there, but what we need to here look into it is 3K was there, and then IPAB relied on computer related invention guideline, and this order was held. It's really a precursor to software patent litigation because it has set a landmark case study in the history. There are a few other case studies also called Accenture Global Services. Patent Office found that it's a data mapping document. It was refused and eventually it was objected and then it was granted. So mix of yes and no are there in industry. But at the same time, what are the trends? The trend is so promising and positive. The number of patent applications filed in 2018-19, the last report from our patent office, that is IP Office of India, showed that there are some 50,000 plus applications were filed, and there is a tremendous increase of 5.9%. The WIPO report, which I was just mentioning, 2021, it says that India is amongst top 15 filing countries in various assistive technology of computer-related inventions. It is kind of a highest growth seen in compared to other technical fields. And not limiting to that, this 2018-19 report of IP Office says that they granted 1,000 plus patents which were related to computer-related inventions. And that's a big number as far as CRIs are concerned. So the trends are promising, and it's just amazing to see a humongous number of patent filing coming up in this field. And as an end user or as a customer, of course, we are going to be benefited. We are going to get a better and efficient products lined up in coming future. Just to have a feel of what's going on around, the top 5 filers in the field of technical information technology are Tata Consultancy Services, that is TCS. Wipro is also showing very high interest in filing. Then few universities are there. Even IIT as a group are filing good number of information technology related inventions. If you look at the statistics, we can see the very increase. Of course, the delta from 17 to 18 is really not promising, but overall there is an increase. So friends, concluding the entire presentation, how would I look at the software related invention? Firstly, it has to be naturally novel, inventive and industrial applicable because it applies to any given invention, whether it is computer related invention or otherwise. So when it is so, that means it is better than prior art, it is novel over prior art. Then since it is CRI, that is computer related invention, we have to further have a check called technical effect or technical contribution in the invention. We have to double check if that contribution lies only in mathematical or business methods or only computer program per se, it is going to be denied. If not so, it is really be granted. The patent office is now very clear because it has already, set down that thin line and giving the just orders as far as CRI are concerned. With this, I would like to thank. I want to close my presentation. Thank you everyone for very patient hearing. Thank you so much for turning up in such a big number, and very thanks to my organizers, Vicky, CPAM, for having me here. Now the session is over. Session is open for question and answer if any questions any. So over to you, Dipankarji.
Yeah, Gopiji, thank you so much. I think that was a wonderful, very insightful, very experience-based presentation, and we are really privileged to have you here. And now I would like to invite, open the session for questions from participants. If any, you may either unmute yourself, speak to us directly, or you can send it through the chat box. The floor is open. Please go ahead. You can use your raise hand option and then we can call you in.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Mohit Mahajan. I want to ask this question that whether the you mentioned about technical advance and technical effect, whether the technical effect needs to be lying, oh, sorry, the other way around, whether the technical advance needs to be lying in the technical effect only, or it could be lying elsewhere in the invention in order to get a grant. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Mahajan, it's indeed a very good question. I would answer it in this way. Whenever we look at invention, forget CRI for a moment, then it must solve a problem. Now, while you are solving a problem, it is generating an effect, some impulse. Now, that problem to solution, to that effect to be bringing out, we are defining the scope of that invention. That look, this is a problem, it is solved in this way, and this is the effect. So when I think about the technical advancement, I would go back and rely on that one or more technical effect only. So hope I have answered your question.
Okay. So your precise answer is that the advance must lie in the technical effect only. So our inventive step also has to be drafted in a manner so as to highlight the novelty and inventiveness into the technical effect only.
Truly, truly.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prasanna. I have another question. This is on the chat box from Prasanna. He is requesting you to throw some light on gaming related patterns.
The light is really dim or dull or switched off, because gaming related patents inventions will not be granted patent, because there are not only one, maybe two exclusion subsection would come and will come in your way to get a grant or patent. That is section 3K, because gaming is nothing else but playing, bringing out the entertainment. You are not solving a problem. So it's supposed to be computer program per se. And at the same time, merely playing a game is not granted under section 3M. So two dangerous subsection called 3K and 3M together will hit it and will not allow the patent grant. So almost no to gaming related patents.
Okay, thank you. I think that answered the question.
Can I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, see, my question was probably towards games like PUBG and all, which can actually predict the player's next move, and then you can throw up more challenges through a lot of AI, ML, and everything else in the background. Not a normal gaming, but games like, yeah.
But again, there isn't a technical problem existing. It is just to add a thrill in terms of entertainment.
Agreed, but isn't it a part of the AI part again? Because it is solving a large problem.
Even there is an AI or not AI, it's okay. It's okay. But it is about playing a game, and 3M would be there even before 3K, 3M would come and object it.
Okay.
And if there is an objectional game, then 3A would come that it is against the moral values, if 3A or 3B, and it will not be further be allowed. So games, whenever the game would come, the number of objection, number of subsection get higher.
Okay.
Another question from Deepak Singh is, can a mathematical formula implemented by a software be allowed?
Mr. Singh, my straight answer is no, because the mathematical formula, as we know, is not allowed. So you have extended it and you have converted into a software. As if I read your question, which says, can a mathematical formula implemented by a software be allowed? Answer is no. But if your overall software is doing some technical advancement, which you have right now not mentioned. So feeling that it's a computer program itself or per se, it shall not be allowed. And that's the reason. Look, there are 50,000 odd numbers were filed patent application, but what you get a grant is 1,000 only. So rejection number is always more as far as CRI is concerned because of all such nuances.
Okay. And Prasanna Bhagwan, your hand is still raised. Do you have another question?
I have a question, like Dushyant Rastogi.
Yeah, sure.
Ms. Gopi ma'am, I have this query, like you discussed about the sort of combination of novelty and inventiveness inquiry with the patentable subject matter inquiry in the recent guidelines. Do you think this is the correct approach towards dealing with CRIs, like clubbing of two distinct inquiries altogether, which many countries take it as separate when dealing with such inventions? Now, India, what India has done has clubbed both these inquiries, and one has to look into the novelty, inventiveness, and then the part which deals with computer related inventions into one.
I would like to give an elaborate answer here, and I would like to answer. If you get the answer, it's good. Otherwise, I'll give in another way also. So sorry, whom I was questioned?
Dushyant Rastogi.
Mr. Rastogi. See, every invention has to be novel. Yes or no? Whether it is computer related or not. Same way it has to be inventive. When I say inventive, it has to bring out the difference of performance. And that depends on what industry or what discipline it is. Let's say I worked on a very simple yet very efficient chemical process, which talked about, which differentiated from its prior art, saying that it uses some 1500 ml water for one batch, while the new invention is using only 300 plus 300 or ml of water. And further, the effluent generation was some 1900, and in the new invention, the effluent generation is 450 ml only. Now, look, it has brought the delta. It has looked into the problem, tried to solve it, and that's how the invention took place. Now, this was a chemical process, and its inventive step were looked in this particular way. And it is computer-related invention. The computer-related invention should be dealing with its own set of objects, whether it is memory or its electronics, other electronics part more efficiently, keeping the same infrastructure in place, or else the program developed is such that it, by executing the same program over the prior art, you are solving the problem in a significantly better manner. In India, we have to have that significance, or we call it delta, in a quite convincing manner. It is always debatable, but as an inventor, as an applicant, and as an attorney, we have to try to put that in place or in document that will look, this is the delta. So coming to CRI related with this inventions, yes, if you're bringing out this technical advancement, then the patent is granted, and there is an interdisciplinary approach and patents are granted. So why to take out CRI away from the entire framework? CRI also belong here, biotechnology patents also belong to the Patent Act. We all are falling in one regime only. And in fact, while we compare with other parts of the world, the developed countries like US or developed group like EPO is almost at the similar fashion. How can we say so? Honestly, while we look at the examination reports of same patent application filed in India, then in PCT, then in EPO, or at times in USA, the reports are almost same. They're speaking the same language. And I sometimes personally feel that because of Alice case, the US has mellowed down. Everything under the sun was patentable kind of approach has really mellowed down as far as CRI is concerned. At the same time, India was having a very vague approach prior to 2013. And now after 2017 guidelines, and after Alice case, we are quite talking the same language. So our guidelines and their guidelines are, of course, the language is different, but approach is quite similar. So I would say we all fall under one act, no matter which invention it is. The only thing what brought out as a clarity by CRI is how to interpret this section 3K.
Gopiji, there's a related question here. It says computer programs per se are granted patents in other countries, but not in India. Can you compare the two a little?
Ms. Shelja, if I am rightly understanding the name,
yeah,
I would rather disagree with this. So far, only US was granting software patents freely, like quite liberally, I would say, not freely, but liberally. In other parts of the world, even the computer programs were not happily welcomed or granted patents. So it was more of US versus other countries of the world. But as I've just answered the question of Mr. Rastogi, that US has little bit mellowed down and we have little bit gone clearer in terms of CRI, we are now at par. Not same, or it can never be same, but quite close.
Right. Any other questions, please? I don't see any in the chat box. No raised hands either.
I could see a question from Mr. Deepu Krishna, and he mentioned that he sent through a mail or so.
Yeah, that's something that I haven't received.
Okay.
Divyesh, have you received anything on that? And Gopiji, there are also a few requests for sharing of your PPT. Are we allowed to do that? Can we do that?
Yes, please. I would love to do that. It would be my honor. Yeah.
All right.
My pleasure. Yeah. I would like to answer the question of Ms. Surbi.
Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Surbi says, ma'am, why are mathematical instruction, formula, algorithm are not patentable? Why so? Because the mathematical formula, instructions, algorithms are very softer way of, translating your idea. So it is not a real product or service. So from those who are from computer industry related, they're working with computer industry, they would surely be agree that it is like you are developing something and prior to that you're listing down that this is the way I'll go and that's called an algorithm. But you haven't done it. So while you haven't done it, how can you claim that you have done this so that you grant me a patent? So they are very abstract, very vague, so can't be allowed at all. And Deepankarji, can I read a comment from my dear friend from Lexorbis who is around?
Yeah, of course.
So it's good to hear from you, Manisha. It's quite motivating.
It's it's a very good program and a wonderful initiative by Gopi and Vicky. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Manisha. Thank you. Good to hear from you.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, madam, please go on.
Yeah, ma'am, this is Surbi. I just asked regarding the question that why algorithm and those are not patented. You said that in an algorithm we write the steps or the code that we haven't implemented yet.
Not even the code. My dear, not even the code. It's just the step. Coding part is the next thing, right?
But if I have a product or an apparatus or any device which is running on some code or algorithm which I have written, so will that be patentable?
See, while you have already developed a apparatus or a product, why will you go back to algorithm? That's the point. You will rather claim that apparatus itself. Now, when it is an apparatus, algorithm is far away. So no issue at all. You're getting my point?
Yes,
So
yes.
kindly you need to travel from algorithm to product and then claim the product, not the algorithm.
And if there is no hardware, but just it is a software application based on that algorithm, it will not be patentable.
It is like while you are drafting a patent application, I don't know which field you're belonging to. We even in our worst dreams, we never write a word called algorithm, because the moment we by chance write, it is going to be objected.
Yeah, correct. The same question I have.
Why? Because it's just a software or vague steps. The abstract ideas are not patentable in any discipline. The chemical example which I gave you, if I just say that this may happen, algorithm is something like it may happen in this way. So if this may happen, that the effluent generation would be less. But if the patent office also asks you to provide the batch studies, the examples to prove that, you just can't claim anything. You have to prove it by your examples, by your lab studies, and so on and so forth. So when I talk about an algorithm, it is nothing else but my idea to do some certain thing.
Okay, so
you kindly go beyond that.
Okay, but then algorithms are not patented, but they are a better suitable for copyright.
They are. You can go there as a protection, but while we are talking about patentability, there is big no for that.
Well, Survi, thank you. Gopiji, there are quite a few others. If you can see them, or you want me to read them out?
Yes, kindly pick them up one by one. I would like to answer.
Well, there's one from Goel Akansh. Most computer programs are trying to automate things which might have taken a much longer time if done manually. But these are rejected, citing that this is a mere automation. How would you argue with that?
That's again very challenging. Whenever any examination report come, my friend Manisha would agree that if section 3K comes, we are like, oh God, please save me from this. Then we'll go into it and then we'll find out the reason why it is objected, what data was required and we couldn't bring it on surface. If we can bring it on surface that look, this automation is only possible through this system, a computer program system only, then we'll defend it and we'll find out any precedent and back it up. But if that automation was carried out by a program which is already existing, and if my learned examiner find out a prior art for that computer program only, then I'm really lost. It becomes almost difficult or impossible to convince them that this is not mere automation.
All right. There is one from Arun Babu. How is the hardware requirement fulfilled? Can any software demonstrating technical advancement be patentable if combined with hardware?
Can I read it? What's the good name?
Yeah. This is Arun Babu.
Okay. Well, how is the hardware requirement fulfilled can any software demonstrating technical advancement be patentable if combined with the hardware? The immediate answer is yes. In fact, the last guidelines say that the hardware per se is patentable if it is fulfilling the requirements of patentability. Same way software, when it goes beyond computer program per se, and their combination when they're bringing out technical advancement. So all three different options are possible. So immediate answer is yes, but Mr. Babu, you'll agree that, while we really pick up a case and start drafting it, it's always very different than just saying yes right here.
There is one on any computer invention can it be protected by trade secrets?
Look, anything can be protected by trade secret if you can, really keep it a secret, including computer related programs. But my dear, program is to go out in the market and to reach out various places. I wonder how can we keep the secret?
There is one again from Pawan Satya. Can we get a patent for the invention involved with a novel program to enhance the performance of the existing device?
Immediate answer is yes. So my dear participants, kindly bear with me when I say immediate answers, because this is a mere question and I'm giving the mere answer. It really depends on what invention we are talking about, what technical advancement it is claiming, and would it be convincing to the patent office or not. That has to see from case to case basis.
Okay. There is one from Purnima. It says, what about CRI related to enhancing users' travel experience? For example, Make My Trip app. How would claims for such an invention be drafted?
See, apps would also be not granted patent. It will fall under 3K MNN. It's a mere scheme of doing in a certain manner. So immediately apps will not be granted patent, but behind the scene, they claim it in a very different way. Let's say, for example, Facebook has so many patent application filed, or so as even the travel apps may have filed certain application, may have filed, but their claims in those applications are sometimes very variable compared to what questions we are talking right now. So if you are enhancing the user's experience, no, it's very aesthetic, and I wonder that patents may be granted here.
There's one from Rajiv Ranjan again. What type of intellectual property is computer software generally used? This is a little confusing. What type of intellectual property is computer software generally used? It is the last one. Can you see that, Gopiji?
Yeah, I can see, but
yeah, it's not
really, I'm not understanding the purpose of the real question.
Rajiv, you want to explain it, maybe?
Good evening, sir. It's typed up. And good evening, ma'am.
Generally,
as I have taken full session, so I think I have one question more, which you have told that is not patentable, as you have discussed in this webinar. So that invention, you can say that matters how we will protect them. Means that will be copyright, there will be algorithm goes in which protection.
So Thank you for the question, Mr. Rajiv. And parallel to that, I would greet my dear friend, Mr. Abhay Pandey from Lexorbis. Hello, sir. Okay, I'm not sure whether he's around or not, but he is very beautifully mentioned in the chat an answer to one of the question of participants. If you can see the chat, it says Abhayji very nicely explained, saying that algorithm are even not copyrightable, right? Only source and object codes, source or object codes rather, fall under copyright protection. So whenever a software related invention or computer related invention come for a discussion, the first choice is naturally patent because it's a little superior right over others. And then if not, then we think about its copyright protection. So it would be, as simple as that. And what goes in copyright protection? As I just mentioned, the Abhayji's answer says only source or object code fall under the copyright protection.
Thank you, ma'am. One more question I have regarding the patent. When we file the patent, we see the one is mentioned on the patent application, one is the applicant, one is the inventors, who play main important role in between them.
In between them?
Yeah, in between inventor and applicant. Who comes on the first priority?
You mean who owns the rights?
Yeah.
Applicant owns the rights. Inventors are, just projected as the sake of inventors. There are no explicit rights given to them by Patent Act, except they are the first and true inventor, if not otherwise. The rest of the understanding is between inventor and applicant at their convenience, in their own fashion.
One more question I have in the mind. Do you think that computer related inventions infringement is identifying infringement is a little bit tough from the others?
I would say yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, I don't see any more questions. Survi's hand is still raised, but I think she forgot to put it down. So, and we are also kind of running out of time now. And so we, with your permission, Gopiji, we would like to conclude this session.
Please, sir.
And once again, thank you so much for a wonderful, presentation, insightful experience sharing and interaction. As we conclude a very interesting and enlightening interaction, I, on behalf of FICCI, CPAM, and all our participants today, would like to thank Ms. Gopi Trivedi for her, interaction with us today, and of course, our very sincere thanks to all the participants for joining us today, and for their attention and interaction during the Q&A session. We really hope you found the discussion very useful and informative. And once again, thank you all, and Gopiji.
Indeed, it was my pleasure, and warm greetings to all the participants, and I really appreciate their interest and in-depth questions which were asked. So I thoroughly enjoyed.
Thank you.